The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Brecheen. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Brecheen.
Today we have a great guest, person that I watched play back in the 90s. Oak Grove, number one tight end in the state, Josh Bradley. Josh, thanks for joining us today.
You bet. Thanks for having me. You bet.
You had an interesting story. We're going to talk about your son today, Jackson, who's, I think, one of the top quarterbacks in the country already. That's just my Louisiana opinion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Saw him play this year as a freshman.
Yeah.
Something you don't see every day as a starter, especially at Oak Grove. And we'll talk about him moving forward after. But first of all, I want to talk about your career, Josh, with Oak Grove. You went to Oak Grove. Your coach at Oak Grove. Your son's at Oak Grove. But I remember when you were coming out, you were 6'7", 230 pounds. And everybody in the country wanted you at tight end.
Yeah.
Signed with LSU. And then finished at Tech and had a great career at Tech. Tell everybody about your experience in recruiting.
Well, so it's obviously, being a coach, not necessarily with Jackson quite yet, but a little bit, but it's so much different now. We've been fortunate enough to have some really good players over the past decade since we've been back. And our head coach does a really, really good job of getting our kids out there. And but it's so different in regards to I can remember being and I've had some talks with them and Jackson about it. It just was so exhausting because you spent so much time, you get home from school and practice. And so it was kind of a deal where now they can reach out over social media and stuff. Well, then you had to go home and you got all these phone calls on landlines. And so you spent so much time talking. And so you had to make a decision earlier than maybe you do now in regards to who you were interested in and who, but you also didn't want to be that guy that kind of didn't, kind of like now you wanted to keep all your options open. And so I could just remember, like as fortunate and blessed as I felt, like I still remember how exhausting the process was because I had no idea what I was going to do. And so that was been, it was a whirlwind for a guy from up here that, we had some really good players. Jason Martin the year before had played, had gotten a couple of SEC offers, decided to go to Tech, our quarterback, and had a really good career at Tech, and some other kids. And so anyway, I knew a little bit about it, but it kind of just bombarded us in the community with and obviously, look, I grew up with a ball in my hand. Don't get me wrong, but I was 6'7", and I certainly didn't have anything to do with that. And so, but yeah, very fortunate, very blessed. And I try to tell my kids all the time. It's a funny story. I took Jackson when he was a young kid to the Dome. We go to the Dome, and it was one year when we weren't playing. He was really young. I don't know, he was probably 10. And he says, and we go to, at the concession stands there, they typically have like a church or something like that work in those concessions, the big one where you get the chicken fingers, what all the kids want. And so the day we go up there, and obviously I'm a big guy, and so we go up there, and these people start making a big deal. You must have played somewhere, this, that, and whatever. And they wanted to know my name. And I said, I played a little bit. And anyway, and talked to them. Well, the next day we go back and go to the same concession stand. They had looked me up, and Jackson was with me, and we're walking away. And one of them actually asked for my autograph. Really, really neat deal. And I was thinking Jackson thinks I'm something. We walk away and he goes, why would they want your autograph? You played in the league for like 45 minutes. And so, trying to, I spend most of my time trying to tell my kids how good I was, and they're not really listening. So,
yeah. I became involved with Louisiana Football Magazine in 97. You came out in 94 with LSU. And sometimes, kids sign places, you stay a year or 2 years. I know Stan Humphreys came to LSU, finished at ULM,
right.
Northeast. You had a great career at Tech from 95 to 97. And
Yeah.
I looked at your stats, and I think your son would love this, but you had 131 catches.
Yeah.
1,591 yards, 20 touchdowns. Not bad for tight end in college.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I was blessed in that regard. And I didn't leave LSU for any other reason, but and I really can't. When people ask me that, LSU was really, really, really good to me. Don't get me wrong. Like I loved LSU, but like I said, it was a different day and time. So, when being from a small town, I don't know that I was prepared for how big that, even though Baton Rouge is much bigger now. I don't, small town family, small town folks.
Right.
I wasn't prepared for how big that place was and how, and so I don't know that I was mature enough to handle that decision. And so, people ask me all the time, do I regret it? And I regret's not the word, but I certainly wish that, of course, I also had some really good tight ends. Harold Bishop was a senior
he's pretty
year.
good.
And then David LaFleur, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And so I came out of spring that year. Me and David had both had really, really good springs. We didn't know what we were going. They didn't know what they were going to do. I was kind of thinner than David, not now, but and I caught the ball. That's kind of was my deal. And then, but anyway, but I tell people all the time when I got to Tech, we luckily or fortunately that's Gary Croton was kind of ahead of the curve. I had to sit out the year, and then the next year Gary Croton came in as the OC and then ended up being the head coach. And he liked to throw the ball around. So I got in a good fit that just kind of I fell into. It didn't have anything to do with anything else. So.
And then David LaFleur was a first-round pick to the Cowboys
from
high school.
Yeah.
Harold Bishop went to Tuscaloosa Central. I tell people all the time, he went to the high school in Alabama's campus.
That's right.
And played in the NFL too with the Steelers. And like I said, great company with you being there.
And I'll tell you a story about Harold Bishop too. Harold Bishop was for somebody who, and of course, LSU was not. We weren't. Curly was trying to get that thing back, but Harold Bishop was as good to me as anybody could have been for a guy that just came in. And I'm telling you, he was really, really a phenomenal guy for a young guy to watch work and play and see what a good tight end looks like. Really. So
we're going to take a break. When we come back, Josh, I'm going to talk about your days at Tech. See what you want to talk about Tech. And since your days, I've had Tim Rattay and Troy Edwards and. All kind of good quarterbacks that have come through there and good new coach. See what you think of their new coach. We'll be right back.
All right, you bet.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got Josh Bradley on with us, who's a current teacher, coach at Oak Grove, went to LSU, Louisiana Tech. His son, we're going to get to in the next segment, who's a current quarterback at Oak Grove. But your days at Tech, those were some good days. And then I wanted to get your thoughts on the new coach that they just hired from Texas Tech. And they've always had good coaches. Joe Raymond Peace, as you know, was a great coach.
Oh, my favorite all time.
Skip Holtz. They had Derek Dooley before he went to Tennessee, I believe. And then they've always had a good coach in place. Even Bradshaw's coach was pretty good back in the day. Huh?
Oh yeah. Well,
what's your thoughts on the Sonny?
Yeah, they always do a really good job. We haven't. So my story is mostly about in regards to Tech's current situation. I have two nephews. One of them just got through playing, and the other one has started over there at O-line for several years.
Is it Josh? Is it Josh, the center?
Joshua Moe, he's a guard. Joshua Moe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my older sister's son.
Oh, he's good. He's a good
guy. Yeah. And so and then John Morgan Bolding, who was my other nephew, he was at ULM. He saw ULM in high school and ended up transferring there, but I think he's done. But so it's through the eyes of them really now that we've gone over there a good bit and watched games and stuff. I tried not to, we've got invited back a couple of times. I made one of the all-star deals or what are top guys at one time. And so, but I don't know. Joshua really enjoyed Coach Holtz and all those guys. And I think, but certainly Sonny Cumbie is when they got him, I was like, yeah, that's pretty neat for us, and I love Tech. Tech was good to me. And so, but I think it's a great hire. I think Joshua seems to really like it. He's coming back for his 6th year, and he seems to really, really enjoy what's going on. And so, Yeah, I mean, I can't speak too intelligently about that. I haven't gotten to meet those guys, obviously, with being as busy as I am. But I think it's a good hire and good way to go.
Josh, that's their second Texas Tech hire.
That's right. That's it. That is it.
Dykes, right? Dykes was the other one.
Dykes is the other one. Yep.
But it's worked once. It's gonna work again real good. You get those passing gurus.
Yep, that's right.
Thing out of Texas.
It's always fun to throw the ball. So,
I mean,
and that's coming from a guy from Oak Grove.
No running backs don't do that, but a little balance maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to take a break again, and when we come back, more with Josh Bradley, Oak Grove High School, formerly Tech, and LSU tight end. We'll be right back.
If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, go see Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Your Baton Rouge Accident Advisors.
Welcome back. I hope everybody's enjoying the show with Josh Bradley, all the way from Oak Grove, Louisiana, today in his office at Oak Grove High School. He's a teacher coach.
This is actually my wife's office.
Oh, okay. We got to thank her for loaning you the office.
She's the elementary school. She's the elementary principal.
There you go. Yeah. Your son, Jackson, what is it like to see him start a whole freshman season? Not something a lot of kids do. At quarterback in a competitive district, playing for a real great program. Day one, I watched him first 3 games just as an outsider and just physically. 6'3", already 200 pounds now. He looks like he's got a little bit of everything in his game that you need. And credit to you growing up, I guess, also a kid of whose dad played college ball. But he looks very good for a young man that's just a freshman going to be a sophomore. And I really believe, Josh, I see these kids play all the time, and I'm not saying this because you're on today, but I mean, he looks like, from what I saw in the state last year, watching all 300 teams, he's the top 225 quarterback that I saw, last year. Yeah,
well, so here's, like we obviously here we run the IV here. Jackson's a good athlete for a kid his size. Much better runner than I ever was, sort of my downfall. But the deal about Jackson is Jackson loves to compete. He plays all 3, and we've kind of made sure that that's something that he wanted to stay connected to. And but the thing people don't realize about us is we don't really have any youth football around here, and so like as far the first time they ever put on pads, and we always laugh whenever these kids get in the 6th grade. Having to go in there and dress them because we don't have any peewee leagues. We don't. And I wasn't going to let Jackson, that's just a personal opinion. That's for another day. I wasn't going to let him put on any pads until he got to junior high. But he started off, he didn't know played baseball his whole life, played little league basketball and stuff like that. But he's slowly progressed to, he loves the game. He loves basketball. I mean, football has become his favorite. It's fun as a dad. I coach O-line, so I get a bunch of, from his mom and his grandmothers and all that about, you're not protecting him enough and this, not what, and so, but the fact of the matter is Jackson goes about the right way. He competes the right way, and everything else will fall into place. I tell him, all our kids that are have an opportunity to go play somewhere else, whether it be D1, D2, whatever. The fact of the matter is that all that'll tend to it as long as you tend to you. And he's done that so far. He's a good kid. His mom was an athlete. It's kind of all we know. He doesn't hunt. Me and him neither hunt, fish, none of that. And so we, we'll go camp a little bit with the guys, but we kind of hang around for the social aspect of it. But that's kind of who he is and what he likes to do. And so I'm hoping as long as, Lord willing, that he keeps progressing. So.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. His feet are way advanced for a young man, 14 years old.
Thank you.
Starting in that league. Y'all don't play easy teams.
We don't. No, we don't.
Washington Christian and the St. Fredericks and
right.
Now
we always have Sterlington. Sterlington's at Mangum. We got Mangum this year, and so he got thrown to the fire early, and so he won that job in camp, and it wasn't a daddy thing. I don't have anything to do with that. I don't coach him, but he won that job and he got thrown into the fire, and he had some growing pains, and it was some things that he had not had to deal with, just being bigger and stronger than everybody else in his age group. And then all of a sudden you're playing against kids that are older, and he had to learn that there's a preparation and and a next play kind of mentality that he hadn't had to, especially in football, because in junior high, he's bigger and stronger. And so it was fun to watch. It really was. It was fun to watch him struggle even. So
it's going to be interesting to see. And I'm sure as a dad, you're looking at this too, but you're 6'7".
I am.
It's going to be interesting to see how tall he does get. He's already tall enough, but
right.
It's going to be interesting to see if he gets 6'5", 6'6" when it's.
Yeah, he had always said he wanted it because this was kind of his deal. He didn't want to be taller than 6'5". He's done all the research. Good quarterbacks don't go above 6'5" is what he says. So, and I don't know. He's probably got another little spurt in him. Maybe we usually see that from the freshman to sophomore years whenever they hit another one. But my father-in-law is as big as I am, and so anyway, that's who knows. But he's certainly getting. He's about 205 pounds right now, and so we're trying to make sure we monitor that as best we can. So,
well, this state's got some quarterbacx coming out.
They do.
You got Eli Holstein coming out next year from Zachary, Arch Manning, Walker Howard just came out, Zion Chris from Madison Preps going to UL. I mean, I didn't even name all the Shreveport guys.
That's right.
Yeah, 4 of them coming up, and they've got a couple more Monroe guys coming up.
That's right.
We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to mention some of his teammates. Okay. All these guys, them backwards and forwards, and then talk about Ryan Gregory, what you think of Coach Gregory. And
okay, sure will.
Being a former Oak Grove player too. O-lineman, right? He's an O-lineman.
Coach Gregory?
Yeah, wasn't he O-lineman?
D-lineman.
D-line, yeah.
Yeah, D-line.
And we'll come back, talk about him, and then we'll start with your O-line guys first.
Okay.
The mamas will be happy there with
That's
O-line.
right.
Protection. We'll be right back.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Treads and Care Tire Company located in Central. The number to call is 331-8144. Family owned and operated since 1971. That's Treads and Care Tire Company.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the show with Josh Bradley. I really appreciate Josh taking the time to get a loaner office from his wife at Oak Grove, Louisiana. Josh, Ty Porter's a good player coming back, both sides of the ball. I saw Cam Franklin's been already offered by LSU in Alabama. John Carter O'Neill's a good player. Caden Moody's a good fullback player, could play defense. Thomas Clack, great punter kicker, I noticed coming back.
Yeah.
Your O-lineman, Payne Hagan and Ryder Strong. And you got some young O-linemen coming up. Seth Ray, a linebacker, fullback. Dan Hagan, Gary Mack Thomas, Jai White, Corey Freeman. Brody Stewart's a good-looking young receiver for it.
He is. Yeah, he is.
What do you think of this group? This is a good core coming back.
Yeah, so we have like that group, and one of the things that I think that is, you can't mention Jackson in that 2025 group without mentioning some of these kids. I mean, I'm talking about this is a phenomenal group in regards.
Yeah, I got about 8 of them.
Yeah, I mean, and there was I think at one point 9 freshmen that were in that meaningful ball games for us, and about 7 of them playing every snap, like on one side of the ball or the other. But yeah, and it's one of the reasons Jackson has progressed because that competition that's bred from them being young, and all these kids are homegrown kids, and so yeah. But you mentioned Ty Porter and Cam Franklin, 2 defensive side. I mean, Cam will play some offense for us, and Ty plays a little bit of running back. But Ty Porter is a phenomenal. He's kind of what Oak Grove is about, just a hard worker. Like loves the competition, loves the plays. He's, people are going to tell you he's a little undersized, but I mean, just goes to work every day and does the things he's supposed to do. And then Cam's just a freak athlete.
Yeah,
he's out there. He's, Cam's really good. Cam works hard, and he's committed to Oklahoma State, and so and we get those kids every now and again. But he's as athletic a kid as we've had since we've been here. But
certainly, coach, he's about 6'3".
Yeah, he's about 6'3", jumps out of the gym. He plays basketball for me. I mean, can go get it and can play, he can play back end. I mean, he can come up and he's physical in the run game, and you can put him inside at linebacker. And I mean, he's just and you could do that at any level, not just 1A. I mean, like he's a kid he's about 200, 205. So I mean, who knows how big he's going to get? But and he's a young junior, so he, I mean, we got some players, my O-line guys and Caden Moody and those guys, just hard nosed. Oak Grove's going to have big kids, and that's kind of where we hang our hat, and just hard-nosed kids that really get after it and really go. Brody Stewart's a kid that is going to be phenomenal for us on both sides of the ball at some point. And then got a big tight end which I'm really, really proud of, who was a freshman this year, started for us. His name's JT Layton.
Yeah.
He is he's about 210 right now, and about 6. He's as tall as Jackson. He's going to be really, really good. And so, we got lots of kids that really enjoy playing, and the future looks good for us. If we, Jai White, we got some kids that are some skilled kids and some kids that can run. So we feel good about where we're going. So.
Josh, this is a great group of 3 years, the next 3 years. That's a
Absolutely.
good one to have.
No doubt about it.
A 1-year deal, and
yeah, that's right.
It's good that your son's like I said, he's one of 9 freshmen and then a bunch of sophomores.
That's right.
It'd be a special run for you guys the next 2-3 years.
I hope so. We moved to 2A, and people ask what you're going to do different. Not do anything different. We're just going to go about what we're doing, and we hope to, we're just going to keep grinding. And these kids know how to work. If there's anything about kids around here, they know how to work and know what, because they're not just football players. A lot of them have to go, get out and lay poly pipe and stuff like that for the farmers, because that's mostly whatever. But anyway, we're really excited about them, and in a lot of different sports. So.
Take a break, come back real quick. We're going to have another small segment I want to ask you about, Coach Gregory.
Okay.
What about your basketball expertise? You're now a basketball. I know you played basketball back in the day.
I did, yeah.
7, you were pretty tall on the court and probably had a couple of dunks, I would take it.
Yeah, man. I had my moments.
Had your moments? Little Michael Jordan moment there?
Yeah, not any of those moments.
Not the free throw line, but yeah.
That's right.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. We're with Josh Bradley at Oak Grove. He's talking about his son, Jackson, and the team and his background with LSU and Tech. First of all, before we get to your basketball and talk about Ryan Gregory, have you gotten a call yet from any of the LSU coaches on your son by chance?
Have we gotten a call from what now? Sorry.
LSU coaches about Jackson yet? Have they got in touch with you yet at all? LSU?
Yeah, Jackson went to a camp down there last year with Cameron, and yeah, we've gotten some feedback with him. It was more with Orgeron's staff. Now, I'm friends with Joe Sloan, so
Joe's a good recruiter.
Yeah, and so Coach Gregory handles all that. I mean, you want to talk about a phenomenal guy in regards to the networking he's done, just being from a place like this, and the sheer amount of legwork he's done to get to know these guys. And I'm telling you, it's not very often at 1A schools where he can just send out a text and say, "Hey, take a look at this kid." But the best thing about it is they give him honest feedback about where to put him. Like in case, not necessarily, but he trusts. And anyway, it's been really, really cool to watch. And so, but yeah, they've reached out a little bit, but so we'll see how it goes.
Joe's a good hire from Tech. Huh? He was good at Tech.
I thought it was a great hire. I really did.
I thought Joe signed most of their great players at Tech over the last 4 or 5 years.
That's the rumor.
I helped him on some of those guys.
That's right.
But he'd call me, he'd call me for those sleepers, and he'd say, "Lee, who's a sleeper tops guy that can end up getting on scholarship?"
Yeah.
I really wanted to insert those slot guys like a Trent. I didn't help with Trent Taylor, but guys like that mold, or guys that were tall and skinny that needed a shot and good grades, and a couple of them worked out. And he had a good eye for talent with players. Yeah. Your basketball coaching, the passion. I'm sure the passion's there just as much as football for you.
Oh yeah, man. Competitive people are competitive people. It doesn't matter, and so we, football's king here. I mean, it's no doubt about it. And then you have, and it's all, you're coaching all the same kids. Then you have baseball. We're a baseball school too. And so, as a matter of fact, we won it in both last year. But when I got this thing, basketball is kind of boys basketball is kind of the forgotten sport around here. But when I got this thing, I just, we've slowly progressed. We've been to the quarters the last 3 years. And hadn't been able to knock the door down. So not having a great year this year, but the problem with it is I don't get them a lot. We're not able to develop our skill as much as we'd like to. But yeah, man, they fight and they claw. Exactly what you think. It'd be good defensive clubs that really grind and rebound and try to win hard games. It's really a wrestling match. So
hey, I wanted to share this with you. I shared it the other day, but I remember when Andrew Whitworth was at West Monroe. Josh, not football, but basketball. And I went to a playoff game. They were playing Catholic of Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And it's at Catholic. And I knew of Andrew. I saw Andrew play in football, and I knew he was a tight end back then.
Yeah.
He was 270, 275, 7. And I watched him run the court.
Yeah.
And I said, now I know, Andrew, your secret.
Yeah.
Basketball.
That's right.
He could run the court like a two guard. I mean, this guy, no fat on him. And he didn't even bend over to gas after running up and down the court. I said, this guy is special.
Oh, yeah. No, well, that's the reason he played 18 years in the league, too. Right. Well, and that's funny because when Curly came up here and watched me, Coach Allman came up and watched me play. That's who recruited me at LSU. Came and watched me play a couple of times or whatever. And that's when it kind of got really, and I was a junior, kind of got really, really heavy for them because he said, oh, okay, because this kid plays, and like you're able to, but the same thing, and I can't believe I'm not remembering this name. What was the big D tackle from Neville that went to LSU in the league? Good Lord.
Rashard Lawrence?
Yes, Rashard Lawrence. So I go over my basketball. There's a game at Neville. They're playing a playoff game. I can't remember who. Somebody from South Louisiana. I didn't even know he played. We're in Monroe for whatever reason. My wife's doing something. I said, I'm going to go watch Neville play. He's on the floor. I think the other team was maybe the 2 or 3 seed. They were something. I think it was the second, third round.
Okay.
Anyway, and then watching him play basketball, I was like, oh my. I mean, this dude is and he wasn't dunking and doing it, but he was just flat playing, running the floor. And I mean, and you talk about, because he wasn't 6'7", he wasn't a slim guy. And
300 something.
Yeah, and he was, and I was like, oh yeah, he's just different. So, but yeah, so basketball, we preach that around here. Not all of them play, but a lot of them do.
Well, maybe we get somebody to come out next year.
That's right. That's right.
They said, oh man, I watch that show. I'm 6 foot 160. I need to go down there.
That's right.
Get my feet right for flanker, right, for receiver.
That's right.
Or DB or linebacker coming up. And I take it, does Cam play on your team, Franklin?
Oh yeah. I
figure he's on the team.
Oh yeah, he's not the most skilled guy because he's so, but he's easily the best athlete. He's very strong, very rough, but he goes and gets everything. He's a good player.
You got to have a football enforcer on that basketball team.
That's right. That's right.
I have him out there, the presence of him.
Yeah.
Real quick before we go, Ryan Gregory played D-line at Oak Grove, now state championship head coach at his school. Like yourself, what do you think of Ryan Gregory, head coach at Oak Grove? Knowing him, you probably known him his whole life, probably being.
I have. So I'm a little bit older than Ryan. When Ryan got the job, I came in with him and him, defensive coordinator. This whole staff's been here for the better part of a decade. Obviously we all played under Coach Dalrymple. Like there's not but one person on the staff, or 2 people, and one's a CCP, my brother-in-law, who helps us. But the other guy is the defensive coordinator. But everybody else played for Vic, and so won championships here and this, that, whatever. And Ryan has just kind of continued that. And I'm certainly not Coach Dalrymple's is near and dear to me, but you can't argue with the run that Ryan's made in regards to it's 8 straight semifinal appearances, 2 straight championships. With just 3 dome appearances. He's done a really, really good job, and he knows what this place is. He has a feel for it. He knows and lets his coaches coach, and he trusts us, and we trust him. And he's a good head coach, good leader, good. I don't have I hope he doesn't watch this because I don't want him. But yeah, we're very fortunate, and Ryan's had some opportunities to do some other things, and Ryan stayed here at home, and we're really super. I'm proud of my kids. Both my boys are going to play for him, and so don't have enough good things to say about him. I'm glad that I get to work for him in my hometown under a guy like that. I really am.
Vic Dalrymple, Hall of Fame coach.
Absolutely, and I don't know what is the holdup.
Honestly,
we can't figure it out up here. So,
well, we were trying to get one in from South Louisiana the other day. Coach Trosclair from Eunice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
236 wins, state title, 2 runner-ups.
Yeah.
Not in the Hall of Fame. We got to get more high school coaches in, huh, Coach?
We do.
It was made for that, wasn't it?
Vic's over a 300-win guy. I mean,
that's not every day.
4 state championship, 4 runners-up. I mean, I could go all day. I don't understand. So.
He's up there like at Haynesville. You got Coach Franklin.
Yeah, he's
in. small towns, I think Oak Grove, I think of Durham, I think of Franklin, I think all
Right.
those coaches like that.
Yeah.
Louis Cook, Notre Dame, he's up in there with all those guys.
That's right. Oh yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
Any final thoughts, Coach? I know you got basketball still this season, but
Right.
Any final thoughts? Any Texters or any Tiger fans out there that might see this statewide?
No, I just the game has been and really every game has been good to us, and it's been good to me and my wife and my family, and even my sister played college basketball, and my wife's sister played college basketball at Tech, and so just that how important the game is and how important this state is to all sports. And I'm glad to be from Louisiana. I'm glad that I played at LSU and Tech. I'm not one of those guys. I root for both, and so I appreciate the support that Louisiana's always shown me, and we kind of take care of our own, and glad to be from here. So
I'll tell you what, that's a cool hat, by the way. I got to get me one of those.
But I can send you any kind of hat you want. I got you.
I've never seen that OG on a hat. I like the embroidery.
I got you, man. I'll send you a couple. So
I'll get you a Louisiana Football Magazine shirt, man.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Coach, don't go anywhere. I'm going to end the show. Appreciate you being on, and good luck to you, man, with the rest of the basketball season and your son's career.
Thank you. Thank you so much for what y'all do.
Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.